Today we're going to be looking at how to use a multiplication chart to help us simplifying fractions. And as you can see here, we're being asked to simplify 12 over 18. So in order for us to do this, we need to find a common factor that we can divide both of these numbers by so that we can keep this fraction equivalent. So the first step is going to be to go ahead and look down through the multiplication chart at the ones column to see if we can find a 12 or an 18. And as you can see here, we can't find a 12 or an 18. So our next step here is going to be to go ahead and now look down the 2's column. And as we can see, about halfway down, we can see that there's a 12, and that's in the 6th place. So 6 times 2 gives us 12. And if we look a little bit further down, we can see an 18 as well. So we know that we can go ahead and divide both of these numbers by 2 because they're both multiples of 2. So why don't we go ahead and start this here? So we're going to go ahead and divide both 18 and 12 by 2. So 18 divided by 2 gives us 9, and 12 divided by 2 gives us 6. But we're not quite done here because we can go ahead and simplify 6 over 9 a bit further because both 6 and 9 are multiples of 3. So we can go ahead and divide both of these numbers by 3 to simplify the fraction even further. And we know that 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. And 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. So 12 over 18 is equivalent to 2/3. But one thing you might have noticed here when we were doing this and using our multiplication chart is if we go ahead and look down to the 6 times 2 where we have the 12 here, if we look one cell to the right over, we can also see the number 18. And that tells us that both 12 and 18 are multiples of 6. So why don't we go ahead and try simplifying this fraction, but this time we're going to start by dividing it by 6 because we can see that both of these numbers are multiples of 6. So 18 divided by 6 gives us 3, and 12 divided by 6 gives us 2. So as we can see here, we got the same answer as 2/3 of 12 over 18 being equivalent to 2/3, but we were able to get there in one step. And the reason we were able to get there in one step is because we found the greatest common factor. So now that we know how to use the multiplication chart to simplify fractions, why don't we go ahead and use this knowledge to try and solve 21 over 28 in one step. So again, we're going to start by looking down the ones place to find 21 or 28, and we can't see either of those. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the 2's column to see if we can see either of them there. And as you can see, we can't see either 21 or 28, so we're going to go ahead and move over to the 3's column. And as you can see, if we keep going down here, almost down towards the bottom here in the 7, we see 21. But we don't see 28 in the 3's column at all. So remembering the last problem, when we looked one cell to the right of 12, we found 18, which told us that both 12 and 18 were multiples of 6. So why don't we go ahead and do the same thing here? So now we're in the rows of 7 here, and we're going to look one cell to the right of 21. And we can see here that we see the 28 one cell to the right here. And just to make sure that both 21 and 28 are multiples of 7, let's go ahead and look in the 7's column here to see if we can find 21 or 28. And as we can see here, both 21 and 28 are multiples of 7. So if we're looking to simplify 21 over 28, we can go ahead and divide both of these numbers by 7 because they're both multiples of 7. And as we can see here on the multiplication chart, 28 divided by 7 is equal to 4, and 21 divided by 7 is equal to 3. So 21 over 28, written in its simplest terms, is 3/4. So I hope this video has helped you to understand how to use a multiplication chart to help you whenever you're simplifying fractions. Thanks again for watching, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. As always, enjoy today's math lesson.